Hello. We're looking at putting together a few short videos to help you with your discussions during this time of coronavirus and give you something a little extra to talk about. And we decided to do these on James. These videos, which we plan to be about 5 or 6 minutes apiece, we hope will be discussion starters for you to use on your Zoom meetings, maybe in conversations you have on the phone, um, uh, as a way of getting things going. I don't know whether you're like me, but once in a while, we need to take a time where we look at our spiritual life and see where it's come from. Now, I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since a Model T was a daily driver. And in fact, I find that many young people have a very difficult time driving this old car. We've come a long way in our transportation. In fact, many of our cars will even park themselves today, and this one won't. So, how's our discipleship? How's our spiritual life doing? Is it growing? Is it getting better? Is it becoming more powerful? We hope that using this time of coronavirus, we can maybe nudge that on just a little bit. And James's epistle is a good one to use for that kind of thing because it was at the very start of the Christian era, one of the first books written in the New Testament. And he starts at a very interesting spot. After his greetings, he says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you endure trials of many kinds, because you know the testing of your faith develops perseverance. And perseverance, when it finishes its work, leaves you mature and complete, not lacking anything." Now, I'm not sure how your day goes quite often, but I know that in my life, every once in a while, I come across those things that you just can't get anything to go right. I had my SUV in here the other day, and I was working on it, and it was a simple task. Should have gone very easy, but I twisted a bolt off, and all of a sudden I couldn't get the actuator on the lock to open anymore, and one thing after another. And I came back to this passage. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, because in one way or another, that's the way life is. Often there's trials that come our way, and we have to deal with them. And we have to realize that trials sometimes includes time of temptation. James says, consider it pure joy for a reason. Because if we give it the chance, perseverance will make us better. Every single trial we go through, in one way or another, if we allow it, will sharpen our skills, will sharpen our abilities. All of us have gone through school. We learned how to read, write, do calculations. Many of us learned our vocation skills in the midst of a classroom. Some of us learn our vocation skills in training. And we have victories and failures. I don't know whether it's true for you in your life, but sometimes I've learned just as much, if not more, from my failures in life than I have the victories. Because the victories, well, you sort of made it. But in the midst of a failure or a mistake, we turn to figure out what went wrong. And I wonder if we would do the same thing with our spiritual life, if we wouldn't also be growing more there. And that's why James says, consider it pure joy. Because in the midst of all this, we're being made mature, complete, not lacking anything. Can we imagine for a moment, in the midst of this scripture, God's wanting the very best for us to grow the most, mature the most, and maybe in the midst of this terrible crisis, He's calling us out as Christians for a purpose that's much bigger and deeper and much more dynamic than we've ever thought of in the past. So, in your discussion, I'd like for you to talk about, well, what went well today? What didn't go good today? What are you learning the most from? About yourself, about your family, and about what God is calling you to do. Consider it pure joy.